straight from the world of Nintendo.
Street Fighter 6 is here and it's released to rave reviews, but the reality is that what's good is subjective. Not everybody likes Street Fighter 6, and that's okay. So welcome back to my series that I call Bad Reviews for Good Games. And today we're taking a look at Street Fighter 6. Let's see what the streets are fighting against when it comes to these reviews. I don't know where I was going with that. Let's just look at some bad reviews. So today we're going to be taking a look at the PC version of Street Fighter 6, and we're going to see what all the negative Nancy's have to say. It's mostly positive reviews, so we're going to have to go over here and filter to the negative. We got over 400. Let's see what kind of fun we can get into. So our first negative review comes from Enon, and he says, the game's awesome, but de novo and Battle Pass announced at the last moment are just cringe. Capcom did Capcom, I guess. Now, I kind of half agree with this negative review. He's upset with de novo, which for those of you unaware, on PC, that's DRM, Digital Rights Management. Basically, they're trying to prevent anybody from stealing the game, which causes some performance issues. I personally haven't had any, but clearly he does, and it's bothering him. So I completely understand why he's upset with that. What I don't agree with is the whole Battle Pass part, and I'm not saying I agree with Battle Passes because the shit's annoying. What I'm saying is I'm not surprised. Like, why are people surprised there's going to be like DLC in the game with like characters being added later? They do that in like every fighting game, and honestly the only fault it is the gamers. You guys bought the shit and it's kind of here to stay. I'm not saying I like it, but I am saying I'm not surprised either. Here we got this guy saying he's had 0 performance issues in the demo and the beta, but then the full release dropped and it's blue screened his PC twice. And for those of you unaware, when it comes to PC gaming, the worst thing a game can ever do is blue screen your PC. I have over 20 something hours on the game. I've been grinding ranked. I have not crashed once. I've never blue screened. I don't have those issues, but I'm not going to dismiss his. So I completely understand why he left a negative review, because all it takes is one blue screen from a game and it gets a big uninstall. Ask Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, baby. Shout out to Essa J's, not a negative review, but he did leave a review that said booty, which is very accurate because there's a lot of fat asses in here, including Kimberly, Cammy. Them thighs is looking real thick on Chun-Li. Fun fact, there's a mission in the story mode where you can comment on her thickness. Yeah, and Zangief, don't even get me started on that. Ladies and gentlemen, I found a good one, and it comes from everybody's favorite dumbass, Starscream. Yeah, Megatron! I really hope this person is trolling, but we're gonna pretend for the sake of the joke that they're being serious, and I'm gonna read this all because this one is ridiculous. Allow me, Starscream, to present my final review of this wretched game. While the full version of Street Fighter 6 manages to run smoothly without the hint of a glitch, it still fails to earn my recommendation. The price tag attached to this lackluster offering is as exorbitant as Megatron's thirst for power. It's an insult to our Decepticon cause. The developers seem to have forgotten the true essence of combat. Instead of focusing on pushing a forced agenda of wokeness, much like Soundwave's constant bootlicking of Megatron, this misplaced priority results in a game that lacks the thrilling battles between fierce warriors that once defined the Street Fighter franchise. It's as if the Decepticons decided to attend a peace conference instead of conquering the Autobots. And the gameplay itself, a mindless button-mashing experience that lacks the finesse and strategy that once made the art of combat a true spectacle. It's like watching the Autobots mindlessly rolling around in vehicle mode without any semblance of skill. The true art of combat has been reduced to a mere shadow of its former self. Now, visually, Street Fighter 6 fails to impress. The character design lacks the iconic style and presence that once set the Transformers franchise apart from the rest. It's as if the dull Jets Starscream's unworthy cousins were put in charge of the art direction. Even the backgrounds lack creativity, resembling a desolate wasteland that pales in comparison to the vibrant energy of our cities. While the full version of Street Fighter 6 brings relief by allowing training while waiting for a match, it does little to salvage the overall disappointment. The inflated price, the lack of innovation, and repetitive gameplay persist, overshadowing any potential enjoyment that the training mode may have to offer. In conclusion, Street Fighter 6 fails to live up to the legacy of the Transformers franchise and the true essence of combat. It deserves no more than a pitiful blank, a score that reflects insignificance. Spare yourself the agony, my fellow Decepticons, and steer clear of this feeble attempt at a game. In transmission. Yeah, please don't. I'm gonna actually mark this shit as funny. Please don't take this shit seriously. I feel like in the first half, you could almost take it seriously. Like maybe this is just some person online pretending to be Starscream. Well, he kind of is. Maybe just somebody who has the name Starscream, I mean. Because once he brought up the wokeness shit, I was like, oh, here we go. But then you read all the way to the end, I'm like, all right, we got a cosplayer here. We got a nice review, bro. Help me with the woke rating. I hope nobody takes this shit seriously. Okay, so that Starscream review, I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but I found wokeness again in this review. This dude says, and he refunded the product. He says he does not recommend the game because it's Woke Fighter 6. I couldn't make it past the opening video. Literally all my playtime is using their obnoxious registration system to create and link a Capcom account to Steam. Deluxe edition refunded, baby. Suck on them apples, Capcom. If you're sick of woke garbage, then do not buy this. What is woke about this game? Listen, there's literally somebody that represents somebody from different parts of the world and all across the roster. What are you talking about? Also, it's a fighting game. Like in the story mode, you just run around fighting gangs and shit like that. There's no message in here. It's just like, yeah, I want to fight. What the fuck are you talking about? But then again, the name probably gives it away. They're just high as a kite, just fucking talking on the internet. Here we got it again. Another person not recommending the game because they say it's extremely woke. The company is inserting identity politics all over your face. What the fuck are you talking? It's a fighting game. Then number 2, he says, confusing character creation process. I want to create a dude, but I keep getting female voices boobs. Like, what the actual fuck? You can make either or. There's nothing. This man's complaining because he doesn't know how to use the character creator. I have literally not seen any. I'm not even gonna read the rest of it. You're an idiot. So in this next review, this guy doesn't recommend the game because he says it's a confused game that tries to trick and condition people who are into RPG elements into playing a classic fighting game. How is that tricking or conditioning people? Like, this is how I know some of y'all do not understand anything about business, okay? Business 101. In order to make as much money as possible, you should cast a wide enough net. Capcom introducing the World Tour mode is, yes, they're trying to lure new people into the Capcom, the Street Fighter universe, because, I mean, what's wrong with having more players? You could find the next big champ, because I'm not gonna lie, when it comes to the FGC, you kind of see like the same faces at the top. You could lure the next big fighting game tournament player thanks to the World Tour mode, okay? Obviously, most people are not gonna convert into that, but like, what's wrong with trying to bring new people? Why are y'all gatekeeping fighting games? This shit is weird. This guy says, inhale my dong, Capcom. Why do I have to register an account with you and link it to my Steam just to play your game online? Like that has anything to do with the functionality and is not just more data gathering. I don't know, this is just an educated guess. I think the reason you do have to register the Capcom ID is because there's a cross-play in the game, and I think it makes it easier if everybody's under Capcom's umbrella, because not everybody's playing on PlayStation, not everybody's playing on Steam. These are all different things. So I think them using the Capcom ID thing makes it easier to do the cross-play. That's kind of what it is like with Apex. Like you have like your actual Apex name. So when you do the crossplay, you don't add them through Steam if they're on PlayStation. You add them through their Apex name, which is registered to like the EA servers or some shit like that. Also, even if I'm wrong, that's just an educated guess. Even if I'm wrong, it took me like 2 minutes to register a Capcom account. Fucking relax, dude. All right, so this guy doesn't recommend it. He says most of the characters look ugly. They made the style too realistic. I don't know. I don't personally play games, fighting games, to look at the characters, okay? Heavy trans gay themes, I'm not against it, but that is overboard. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm lost on that one. You can't create pleasant to look at characters in the character creator. One of the worst I've seen. This man really has like a big emphasis on how the characters look. I'm gonna guess you're kind of dangerously horny, but here's the one that really got me. This is why I wanted to highlight this review. He said, I think they're online spamming combos in the new modern control scheme that plays the game for you. It has auto combos. So my counter argument to that is I bounce between both, right? There are certain characters that I use modern for. Like I use modern on Zangief, which I think I might switch to the classic, but like I've been using modern on Zangief because he's a grappler. He already doesn't have a lot of tools to work in, so why would I want to do a bunch of inputs to grab your ass? But then if you use a character like Ken, I use the classic controls because I want more control and creativity over my combos. There's a lot of different ways that you can string moves together. So for certain characters, the modern controls make more sense to me. That being said, all of that aside, right? If you're really good at the game, newsflash, if somebody using modern controls, you should be able to beat them. The problem is modern controls are exposing a lot of you motherfuckers that drown in pools at the tournaments. Yeah, people who show up to tournaments and try to act like you're pro players, you're not. It's lowering the barrier to entry, and it's showing a lot of you really aren't that good, because what happens when you made it a little bit easier to do the combos, then it becomes mind games. Then it becomes a footsies game and a defensive game, and some of y'all can't hang, and that's why you drown in the pools. Get your bitch ass some floaties. I'm on your ass, big. So as you can see, not everybody loves Street Fighter 6, and that's why they're in the comment section fighting other people's opinions until they turn white in the face like a ghost. And speaking of ghosts, did you know I also did a bad reviews on good games for Ghost of Tsushima? Yeah, the beloved PlayStation exclusive. Not everybody likes it. And if you want to find out why, click the card right here and it'll take you to that video, because you obviously enjoyed this video, you made it to the end, so you might as well watch another one that's just like it, except for it's on Ghost of Tsushima. Click the card and give me some extra watch time.